everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the Repaint Society Doll Art Collective show, and I'm super excited about it because it's 14 dolls. Sorry, I think my chair was squeaking. It's 14 dolls and they are just beautiful. I can't wait for you to see them. But first I thought I might share with you a little bit about the Repaint Society and how we got started. So back in 2013, we started a little group. It was called the Secret Repaint Society, and it was super cute because it was, you know, kind of just like secret. But it was really just a group of doll artists that gathered together so that we could share our ideas collectively with each other about where we get dolls, what paint we use, what kind of technique. If we came across anything new, then we would, you know, share it right there. And we formed a bond as a group of people. So then around 2015, we thought, wouldn't it be fun if we collaborated? Because here we are all together, all these talented artists, and wouldn't it be amazing if we could do like a show and everyone could pick a character? So it took off like a rocket. We were all very excited about it. And the first show that we came up with was The Walking Dead. So we called the show Dead Dolls Walking, which we thought was cute. And everybody picked a character, and it was just kind of chaos because we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't really have a plan. We just all threw out names and everybody was like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then it just worked out. So we had a successful show. I think we maybe gave ourselves 3 or 4 months to be able to put it together, and it was a success, and we really loved it. We loved it so much that we decided we should form the Repaint Society separately and open a Facebook page so that everyone could see our collective, our dolls, our collaboration. So we did that and immediately started planning our next show, which was Game of Thrones, because everybody was huge. We loved Game of Thrones. We loved it. It was so great. So everybody wanted to try Game of Thrones, and we knew that there were a lot of characters. So we tried to come up with a plan on how we're going to pick characters. So we picked a time and everybody showed up and just threw names out. And it was really chaotic and kind of fun and exhilarating. Like there was a lot of heart-pounding moments because you didn't know if you were going to get your character or not. That show turned out amazing and much bigger than the first show. We ended up picking 2 characters each. It was so fun. So I'm going to be showing pictures along the way so you can kind of see the show, just the collaboration of dolls. So anyway, the next show that we did was Once Upon a Time, which was also a massive hit and one of our favorite shows as well. And we did not anticipate by the time we got to the 3rd show that it would be so massive. It ended up being maybe 3 waves of dolls being shown. First we had our main show, and it was just so big that we kept making dolls. Like there were so many costumes and there was so many characters and just plenty of space for everybody to be able to do something. So that was a really amazing show. As you can see by the pictures, it was really, really awesome. And it was probably my favorite show of all the shows. So let me take a quick peek at my notes. So the next show was Doll Wars. And by this time we were starting to catch on that being chaotic wasn't going to work for us. It was nerve-wracking to try to throw out names of characters. So what we did was we kind of formed a lottery, and it was like this. Everybody put their name in a hat, and then we just pulled them out, and then whatever number that you had was your picking order. And so then we just showed up all at one time, and we would call it number 1. That person would pick their doll, number 2, and so forth until all the characters were picked. So that ended up being a really great way for us to do it. So Star Wars obviously was great. I loved it so much. Not just because I got to create some Star Wars dolls because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but because I got to see everybody else's dolls. It was just a huge collection of dolls. I think everyone made at least 2 dolls. So the next show we did was called Fairy Tale Redux, and that was based on a reimagining of fairy tale characters, as you can see. And it was really fun because at this time we were sort of stretching our creative wings and just kind of wanted to do something ourselves, like where it was a character, but it was just based on our own imagination. And that was a smaller show. We kind of like brought it down to just $1 a person. And but the dolls were really elaborate, and we wrote little stories for it. It was really great. The next show was called June Brides, and that was based on TV shows and movie famous brides. Just like June Brides, Baby It's Cold Outside was a character, but it just had to be winter themed. So that was it on that one, and it was really fun. Then we did Women on Fire, and that was also the same kind of thing, where it was a collection of just women, powerful women in movies and TV and things like that. We said it was based off of strong female leads. And then the next show was called The Witching Hour, which was popular witches. And that was a really fun one for me because I'm all about Halloween. So it was fun to be able to do a Halloween themed show because we hadn't really done that yet. Well, maybe The Walking Dead was the first show, so maybe that's a little Halloween. But then The Witching Hour. And so everybody was able to make a witch based off either comic books or movies or TV. Then our most recent show was Santa's Babies, and that was based off sort of like a fashion show, Elf on the Shelf inspired, and that was a mini show. It was just something that we did really quickly. We put it together fast. No one really had to choose characters because it was all sort of like with the Fairy Tale Redux. It was just whatever your imagination, you could create what you wanted, as long as the theme was Christmassy and it was sort of based off of Elf on the Shelf a little bit. It was very loose. Once we've done our character choosing, that's done months in advance because it takes months to create dolls. The dolls are usually fairly elaborate. They take a lot of research. They take a lot of finding the right fabrics and everything that might go with it. Sometimes there's maybe a stand or a character that goes with it, sculpting. There's so many elements to it that it takes months to be able to create your doll. So it usually is decided 3 to 5 months in advance. Okay, so how do we pick our categories? Now that you know how we pick our characters, you might want to know how we pick our categories. Like, how do we come up with these? So what happens is throughout the year, we're always discussing what might be fun for the next show. While we're working on our current show, we'll just discuss it a little bit among ourselves. And we'll take those ideas and we kind of put it in a pot, and we'll fish out maybe 2 or 3 or 4 ideas, and we'll put it to a vote. So we'll give a time to all of the artists on when they're going to vote for their category, and then we vote, and then whoever comes out on top is the winner, and that's the next show for us. So if you really like dolls, I would highly recommend that you subscribe to my channel, but also that you go over to the Facebook page, the Repaint Society Doll Art Collective. I'll link it below, and sign up to watch what comes down the pipe, because not only do we do shows, but all of the artists produce dolls throughout the year. So it would be really fun for you to be able to go and see it, and you wouldn't miss a thing. So don't miss anything. Click on this bell because I always upload videos for the doll shows, but I recommend you go over to the Facebook page so that you can keep up to date with what's going on, because we tease the show throughout the year. We introduce each character and artist and all that good stuff. So we've been together for 6 years now, and we've done 10 shows, 9 major shows and 1 mini show. So for our 11th show, we're doing Hello Dollies, which is based off the popular characters from famous movie musicals. And just like every other show, we voted, And this is what we came up with as a group. And then everyone was able to pick their characters. So I'm about to present to you the 14 dolls that were created. Okay, guys, I'm super excited because it's time to start the show. I know you guys have been waiting, and I thank you for your patience. But it's time, it's time. And we're about to see all of the beautiful dolls left right over here. So I'm going to start off the show with, I'm going to be going through the years because it's movie musicals, and we kind of go through all these years. And I'm going to start from the beginning in 1956 with The King and I, Anna. I know, I'm really excited. So I'm going to introduce our newest member first. She is Deborah Young Cressman, and she has been doing dolls for about 10 years. She has Debbie Does Dolls, and she picked Deborah Kurt as Anna in The King and I as her introductory doll. So we have this beautiful copper colored ball gown that was created by Irene Sheriff. And you could also describe it as like a golden dress with pink reflections on it. It's very unique. I almost want to call it like almost a rose gold. Super unique for that time as well. It has characteristics of the big baggy sleeves and the big bow in the front. And it's one of the sexiest gowns ever designed by Irene Sheriff. So Deborah, or Debbie, made a crinoline hoop, and then she also added some sheer sparkly overlay on the sleeves and bodice. She, of course, I said the full puffy sleeves. Silver dangles on the snood that she hand cut herself to make sure that they were exactly the right scale for Anna's hair. Obviously her upswept, elegant hair and her absolutely serene beauty. So as you can see over here, absolutely stunning. Honestly, I wish I had all the dolls here. I couldn't get all the artists to send me all the dolls because I would love to be able to just hold them up and present them to you because they are absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. But Anna from The King and I, isn't she gorgeous? We're still in 1956. Staying with The King and I also have the gorgeous Yul Brynner as King Mongkut of Siam. Now, there was no way I wasn't going to read that because I can remember. Again, Irene Sheriff won the Academy Award for Costume Design for his incredible costume. The flamboyant red suit is decorated with golden embroidery, and the king has put the blue banner on his shoulder, which imitates the ones worn by the English gentleman. He always wears those short, baggy pants and this earring that goes so well with the golden details on his red suit. Donna Brinkley of Designs by Donna used a toner doll to create this fabulous character. She completely resculpted a toner doll to recreate the very unique face of Yule, also his head shape. She had to redesign as well. And she's really great at capturing characters. You can see it's an absolutely amazing doll by Donna. I wish I had them in person so I could show you. So you could really see the details on them. Just beautiful. Now we head to 1964 London with the always stunning Audrey Hepburn as Eliza Doolittle and the Oscar-winning My Fair Lady. Again, I'm reading, so I apologize for that, but I want you to be able to just look at the dolls, so look at me. Cecil Beaton's costume designs for My Fair Lady added immeasurably to this successful musical. He designed over 1,000 dresses for the movie. However, the dress he made for Eliza for the embassy ball is timeless, and the simplicity and uncluttered line look forward to the 1960s as much as back to the pre-1940s. Artist Ann Moxler of A&M Designs chose a toner doll for her Eliza and dressed her in the iconic white ball gown. Anna has a deep love of art and is a gifted digital artist as well as a doll artist. So as you can see, Anna's doll is absolutely beautiful. Anne's doll is absolutely beautiful. I know, I'm going back to Anna. Anyway. Oof, we're still staying in the 60s. So the next doll that I'm going to talk about is actually one of my absolute favorites, and I was so excited when Cheryl Black Jackson chose this to be her character. Okay, so we're in 1968 and we're introducing Truly Scrumptious as the music box doll in the beloved musical Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I'm obsessed with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. She was portrayed by Sally Ann Howes. This piece is a collaboration between Cheryl Black Jackson of Cheryl Jack's Designs and the award-winning design Becky Unger of Rebecca's Gallery. Cheryl, who is a theater and drama teacher, said this was a favorite childhood movie. Mine too, Cheryl. Mine too. Look at her. Oh my God, isn't that so cool? I don't know how many people saw this. I literally drove my sister crazy about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. As a spectacular touch, Truly is going to be on her music box. I mean, it's the doll, but also the music box setup, like the whole thing. Look at that. Isn't that cool? She made the whole thing. And then, of course, Becky made her costume, which is absolutely amazing. And then Cheryl did the hair and the face and the music box. It's absolutely one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite dolls in the show. So I hope you enjoy it. Beautiful job, Cheryl. So I'm going to move on now to 1969. We're still in the 1960s. So we're rounding it up, though, with 1969's Hello, Dolly, which the show's title is Hello, Dollies. So I'm going to say that this is the star of our show. Yes. The inspiration behind the show title. Ison Kuzi of Kuzi Creations chose Barbra Streisand as Dolly in the most expensive gown that's ever been created for a movie. The iconic gown was worn by Barbra Streisand in Hello, Dolly, designed by Irene Sheriff. Oh, it was? She did the King and I. This lady is great. Anyway, this dress weighs over 40 pounds and cost $8,000 in materials plus $58,000 in craftsmanship to construct. This equals about $100,000 in today's money. It was reportedly Barbara's idea to have the dress in gold to avoid comparisons to the famous red dress that Carol Channing wore as Dolly Levi. Sheriff had recently designed gold costumes for Cleopatra and was very familiar with how it would photograph on camera. This is why she insisted Barbara's gown be made using real 14 karat gold, which made it really, really heavy. The gown features shoulder straps, a fitted bodice, fitted hips, a pleated peplum, and a long central panel. Almost 1 pound of 14 karat thread and embellishments were used in the creation, along with hundreds of Swarovski crystals. How could the show not include one of the most iconic musicals in history, who is repaint artist and costume designer for more than 2 decades, who has a soft spot for especially difficult challenges? The final pictures say everything. How gorgeous is this? I want to say that when I talked to Ison, she mentioned that there's at least 1,000 beads and sequins on this gown alone, and the hours that she spent just were crazy. The construction, as you can see, it is absolutely fabulous. And please, I recommend to go underneath this video, or make sure when you're looking at the Facebook, maybe not under this video if you're on YouTube, but on Facebook, make sure to check out that there are some videos you can see the sparkle of this gown, because it's beautiful. She did the plume hair, all of it. It's just absolutely beautiful. And a showstopper, no doubt. We're jumping right over the 70s and starting off the new decade with 1980's fantasy musical Xanadu, starring Olivia Newton-John as Kira in her pink muse gown. Outfit, really. Xanadu's costume designer was Bobby Mannix, who created 260 costumes for the movie. Xanadu needed a whole range of styles, from the lavish costumes worn by the cabaret dancers to the flowing feminine costumes of the Greek muses. They were gorgeous and definitely captured the spirit of that decade. Sherry Marscheider of Sasha Blue repainted the beautiful Franklin mint head and put her on a tonner body. Most all of these dolls, unless I say so, are tonner dolls. But this one has a Franklin mint head. With the help of Sherry Eisenberger's gorgeous seamstress work in creating Kira's outfit. So, doll by Sherry from Sasha Blue, and then Sherry Eisenberger's gorgeous costume. Isn't it beautiful? Looks just like her. Absolutely gorgeous. So now we're going to kind of depart from the traditional movie musical and go into a musical documentary. Yeah, we're staying in the 80s though. Continuing on in the 80s, we have a musical documentary, Rock Legends, The Story of Def Leppard Hysteria. Lori Everton of Doll Portraiture created a kid-sized version of Joe Elliott from the iconic rock band. Lori is a longtime lover of rock and roll and was eager to create a favorite rock legend. It looks just like him. When asked why she chose this character, she said, "Not only because I love the band, but because all they have overcome. It's really pretty amazing, especially considering they never broke apart or stopped the band's music. Although they did have a 3-year hiatus due to the drummer losing his arm." That is devastating. A drummer, of all things. Instead of them considering another drummer, they stood by his side while he constructed an electronic drum set, which he could trigger with his feet, after which the band went on to complete their most successful album, Hysteria. So this documentary is really probably very interesting if you like rock music and Def Leppard. Anyway, Lori's doll is amazing. She's been repainting for probably close to 20 years, I would say, maybe around 20 years. She's a phenomenal doll portraiture artist. She's really great at creating characters, and her main focus while she's worked in Tonner is Barbie-sized dolls. So we are decade jumping again. We totally skipped the 90s and moved into 2000s to 2004, The Phantom of the Opera, with the gorgeous Christina created in her white gown. Morgan May of Stardust Dolls has created the memorable Christina as portrayed by Emmy Rawson out of a Barbie. So she's a Barbie size as well. Isn't she beautiful? The Phantom of the Opera is a longtime favorite musical of Morgan's, and her skills as a seamstress also shine through in the recreation of Christina's gown, which was inspired by the Empress Elizabeth of Austria's famous portrait. Morgan loved the Gothic and the magic, and she sure did capture it here. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? I absolutely think she did a breathtaking job. Gorgeous overall doll, absolutely stunning gown, beautiful work. Morgan, I love it. Morgan creates a lot of beautiful clothes for the Repaint Society as well. But Christina is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so 2007 brings us the heartwarming Disney's Enchanted with the stunning Amy Adams as Giselle, brought to us by Monica Conkey of Monica K. Star Dolls. Monica is mostly known for her fantasy and sci-fi dolls for the last 14 years, which, when represented with the theme, she chose the character because it's one of her all-time favorite movies in the beautiful curtain dress, created by Becky Unger of Rebecca's Gallery. Absolutely beautiful. The original gown was designed by Mona May and is on display at Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. Giselle's dress resembles John Singer Sargent's painting of Millicent, Duchess of Sutherland from 1904, and it really does. Like, the inspiration is obviously there. That's 2 doll shows that have like inspirations from older paintings. How cool is that? It features teal fabric embroidered with a floral design, and if you look closer, the original dress, you can see the familiar shape of Mickey's ears. They're always sneaking those in. I live in Florida, so I know all about the Mickey ears. They're always hidden somewhere. Using a Tonner doll, Monica has created a perfect portrait of Giselle. And isn't Amy Adams beautiful? What a beautiful doll. I loved her hair. I think she looks absolutely gorgeous. Again, I want to say before I move on to the next doll that if you're interested in any of these dolls, which I don't think I've even mentioned, you can go to the Facebook page, the Repaint Society Doll Art Collective, and underneath this video will be all the links to all of the artists and their dolls, so that if you want to own one of these beautiful treasures, that's where you would find them. You can private message any of the artists for information. All of their information will be, like I said, below the video. I guess this is a new decade because we're in 2010. And we're going into Burlesque, starring Christina Aguilera as Allie, created by Lisa Ramsamy of the Doll Place. Now, Lisa's probably been painting close to 20 years as well. And she's a seasoned professional. She makes all of her own costumes and all of her, of course, repaint, all of it. She's a very talented lady, and that shows through here. She's a self-taught artist and designer and has been working in dolls since 2004. Well, there's my answer. So close to 20 years. Originally dedicated to photography and equestrian art. I think I'm saying that right. And equestrian art. So her husband is a horse rider. I don't know what they're called. Equestrian. He's a jockey. That's it. And so she did a lot of photography, horse photography, and beautiful, absolutely beautiful paintings of horses, like just breathtaking. She's amazingly talented. Anyway, the costume, originally created by Michael Kaplan, was meticulously recreated by Lisa with hand-studded crystals and ostrich feathers. Using a 16-inch toner doll, Lisa has made Allie into miniature, and she is glorious. Isn't she beautiful? She looks just like Christina. It's absolutely gorgeous doll. So there is Allie from Burlesque. So 2014, Into the Woods is our next doll. Right? I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. A dark and twisted musical fairy tale is our next movie. 2014's Into the Woods brings us Meryl Streep as the witch, recreated in astonishing accuracy by Toni Brown of Bordello Dolls. Toni has been painting dolls for 15 years. Her dolls are usually a bit edgy, with her interest being more on the dark side, like vampires, witches, goth, etc. This doll she chose because she liked the character and the challenge of her dress. Really. And you can see this is a challenging dress. It is made entirely out of different size ribbons and has a zipper in the back. I don't even know how she, like, what? Look at this. How did she do that? Her hair is applied mohair. Oh, wait, let me go back. It is made entirely out of different size ribbons and a zipper in the back. In the process, she wrapped the body Saran wrap and molded the ribbon to fit the body. Her hair is applied mohair. The gown on the doll is out of this world. Original design by Colleen Atwood, an Oscar-winning costume designer. Toni brought this doll to life. She is gorgeous, and I love the color. It's absolutely beautiful. What a show-stopping doll, right? All of these dolls are absolutely magnificent. Again, if you want to own one of these dolls, head over to the Facebook page, and I'll put a link below, and then you can find all of these beautiful creations. So next up is 2017's The Greatest Showman. I couldn't take my eyes off of this next entry when I watched the 2017 The Greatest Showman, and that is the beautiful Zendaya as Anne Wheeler in her acrobatic costume and pink hair. I felt like Zac Efron. Now this is me talking. I felt like Zac Efron. The first time I saw her, I was like, ooh. The purple, the sparklies, the pink coiffed hair. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Lori Lenz of Angel's Doll Studio chose to create this gorgeous girl in doll form, and she is outstanding. Love her. Right to her perfectly coiffed hair. I mean, it's true. I know I'm reading it, but this is a lot of my words. So Lori also created the costume, which was designed by Ellen, I cannot say that name, but we're going to try. Ellen Marojonic. Marojonic. She is a vision. Make sure to check the links before for information on how you can own one of these fabulous dolls. So this is Lori Lynn's. I don't know if you know this, but unusually, the Repaint Society has 3 Lories. And yeah, they're all spelled L-A-U-R-I-E. 3 of us. There's Lori Everton, Lori Lynn's, and me, Lori Lee. So there's a lot of Lories. I hope it doesn't cause any confusion. But this is an absolutely amazing doll. I didn't write down what doll she used. I actually forgot to. So what I'll do is I'll write it down below what doll she used. Lori Lynn's used a 16-inch doll to recreate this beautiful Ann Wheeler. That was a great movie. Did anybody see that movie? So fun. So next up is my doll. Yep. Well, now we're to me in 2019's Rocketman, portrayed perfectly by Taron Egerton as Elton John. He should have won the Oscar. That's just my personal opinion. He should have won the Oscar. I mean, he sang as well as acted. He was amazing. How did he not win the Oscar for this? I don't know. I chose a toner doll to bring him to life. The musical movie extravaganza is a must-see. It's truly amazing, and I'm not kidding. I need to watch it again. It's so good. The costume designer was Julian Day. Thank you for having an easy name to say. And I did my best to recreate the iconic look from the moment in the movie where he performed Crocodile Rock. I hope you like him. I can actually go grab him, so let me go do that. Okay, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see because I really can't see, but I'm just gonna go up. So I had to recreate the costume using my own. I just made the pattern myself, and it'll be up on YouTube pretty soon, I would say. It'll probably be up really soon, so look for that. He has embroidery little appliques, and there's Swarovski crystals in each middle one. And these pockets actually work. And he has his boots. I don't know if you can see them. His boots. He has a mohair wig, and I'm actually getting some new glasses for him. I made the glasses, then I found someone to actually print them, so I'm waiting for those. But here he is in his custom stand. I hope you can see everything. Let me put him behind me. So I don't exactly know where you're gonna fit. Here, I guess. So anyway, all right. So that was my doll, and I really had fun creating him. Whew. So finally, I don't know if you guys saw this movie, but we're in another decade, 2020. So we move right into 2020. Last but not least, rounding off our show is 2020's Eurovision, the story of Fire Saga, which is, it's hysterical, but it's also like really heartwarming and moving. Samantha Danson, who has been painting dolls for at least 20 years, has recreated her favorite character, Alexander Limtoff, as portrayed by the very handsome Dan Stevens in this saucy role. Repaint and costume by Sam, original costume design by Anna B. Shepherd for his performance of rock opera banger Lion of Love. Shepherd custom built Limtoff's gold brocade Cossack Ringmaster Ensemble. That's a big mouthful. Complete with a requisite rip-away gold lame shirt panels above. Like, that is so cool. I was astounded how fantastic he fell into this role, because I always see him in classic films like Downton Abbey, or well, he was Beauty and the Beast. He was the Beast. And suddenly I saw him coming alive on the stage, ripping the costumes and moving beautifully, says Shepherd, the costume designer. The doll is perfection. Sam has outdone herself once again, because she always does. And she adored the movie and the character, and her work shows it. I have to say, after reading this, that if you haven't seen Eurovision, and I know it looks really silly in the commercials, it's fun. It's worth it. The music is good. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It brings a tear. I cried at the end. It was really good. And Sam, you did an amazing job. As you can see, he's absolutely perfect. He's perfect. Wow. We've made it through. I hope that you enjoyed the show. I think that the dolls are absolutely spectacular. We'll be having another show, so we'll announce that soon. Don't you worry. This is our spring summer show. We usually do another show in the fall, which is already being planned. So you have to come and see. Make sure to join the Repaint Society Doll Art Collective on Facebook so that you won't miss anything, whether they're new dolls being created by artists or they're the doll show that we create every, twice, sometimes 3 times a year. You never know. So sometimes we might surprise you with a show, a little spring one on you. Anyway, thank you so much again for joining us. Make sure to go to Facebook if you want to own any of these spectacular dolls that you've seen here. Today is the day that they're all available. If you're tuning in later, still go back and check. They might still be available. All of the links will be below. So I will see you guys next time. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye.